All right. Welcome back to the Xelik Podcast. This is episode 2. And today we have 2 questions between the two of us. Well, 2 questions each.
So for a total of 4 questions.
For a total of 4 questions.
We are your hosts, Noah McCashin and Zane Gallagher.
Yes. And I am going to start with my first question is give the most overrated exercise in the gym.
Easy. Most overrated exercise is this. I don't honestly even know what this is called because we don't even have it in our exercise library, but I see people doing this at the gym all the time. You hold a dumbbell right here and you go like this. Maybe penguin waddles is what we can call them. For because whenever people are working their obliques too, like people do cross crunches or you have to control it so much in order to actually feel this in your obliques. And so can it work your obliques? Yes, but 99.9% of people don't do it right. And I used to do them all the time when I started in the gym, and it is the biggest waste of time because mind-muscle connection is something that's super important. You have to feel every exercise that you're doing, and if you don't feel it working or you're not able to focus on contracting the muscle, then you're not doing anything. And I think that people are probably just messing up their spines more than they're actually working their muscles.
Yeah, the worst, something that's even worse is when they do it holding 2 dumbbells, 1 in each arm, and it's the same on both sides, and they're just waddling back and forth, and it's not even a difference in weight.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I haven't thought about that exercise in so long, but every time that I see somebody doing that in the gym, I think about giving them a business card.
Yeah, it's a very, very overrated exercise.
Yeah, you might as well just sit on the floor for 5 minutes.
Yeah, agreed.
What is the worst diet of all time in your opinion?
The worst diet of all time is the vegan diet because it is extremely difficult to get your protein in, and the amino acid profile of plant-based proteins is much less than that of an animal-based protein amino acid profile, meaning you need to get about 45 grams of protein from a vegan plant-based protein source, whereas in order to initiate muscle protein synthesis, whereas in animal-based diet where you have animal-based proteins, it takes like 30 grams of protein for leucine to kick in and engage in muscle protein synthesis. Your digestion sucks. And also, I always throw this in on top of like all the claims that vegan people state, but if it's for emotional purposes about like taking care of animals and not like harming the animals and whatnot, the amount of animals that get harmed from just tending to crops and like waiting off intruders and gophers and snakes and raccoons and rabbits and all these animals that eat crops and plants and harvest, like you're killing them just as much as you're killing cows and stuff that's like built to be eaten. So it's like you're just picking the wrong bunch of animals to kill just so that you can eat their food. You're eating their food more than they eat their own food, and so they die off the food chain. I think it's just it doesn't make any logical sense to me from a medical physical standpoint in terms of getting in better shape, and like a emotional psychological standpoint. Like you're not helping animals by any means.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. I was vegan for a week, and my stomach has never felt as wrecked as it did for that week. My stomach was in pain all day, every single day, because I was actually, the one thing too is people will eat Pop-Tarts and say, I'm eating a vegan diet because it's good for me, and then they stay away from animal-based sources, which leads to consumption of a lot more processed food. But I was actually doing it the right way with lentils and complementary proteins, with the missing amino acids from one, plant food group, complementing it with one that had complementary amino acid profile, yada, yada, yada. But just that amount of fiber. Honestly, I've even had clients who will eat like 45 grams of fiber per day, and then they tell me that they're constipated. And fiber is really, really good for you, but 20 to 30 grams, per day is kind of the sweet spot, depending on the size of the person. Anything beyond that, and you're going to poop every 4 days and have stomach pains pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy on the tummy.
Are you a believer in fiber?
Yeah. I don't know. I know that like insoluble versus soluble fiber is very important, and one complements the other. And a lot of people lack one or the other, and people don't even focus on fiber all that much, but let alone the types of fiber that they're consuming.
For sure. Yeah.
My turn, right? For a question. What is your favorite exercise to do? Or let me rephrase that. If you could do one exercise for each muscle group, push, pull, legs, for the rest of your life, what exercise would you do for each muscle group?
Push, pull, legs. I think push, what I would do is dips. You're working your triceps, you're working your shoulders, you're working your chest, and you can do that. You can do them body weight, you can add weight. Both of your arms are working independently as well. So you're training them both equally, whereas, with a barbell, it's very easy for like one side to take over, as opposed to the other side. So dips would be that's so tough too, because my lateral delts, like for me specifically, I would probably just do lateral delts forever, push related, because my lateral delts are small and my chest is big. And so I just need to grow my lateral delts. But dips, I think for the average person, if you do dips, they'll work all of your push muscles. And then legs, I would say squats. I have back issues, so I don't do barbell back squats, but Bulgarians or hack squats, some variation of that. You're working every muscle on your leg. You can change your feet positioning to, like, if you step out a little bit wider than shoulder width, you point your toes out, then you'll work more glutes and hamstrings. If you push through your toes, you'll work your quads. So they're really versatile, and you can load a lot of weight and stimulate your legs really well. And then for pull, I'd just say a pull-up. Yeah. A lot of jacked calisthenics dudes from doing dips and pull-ups every day.
Yeah.
And just doing hundreds and hundreds of them. So I think you can have a pretty solid physique with those three.
Pure body mastery.
100%. Yeah. Honestly, during COVID, all I did was body weight stuff and bands, and I was pretty shredded. That really made me convicted in like band workouts and body weight stuff. I mean, you're not going to build the same amount of mass, squatting 405, or doing body weight squats and single leg, whatever, without weight, like calisthenic type stuff, as opposed to like squatting 400 pounds for sure. But you can be lean and have good muscle tone for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. In your opinion, what is the most overrated muscle split? Workout split. Let me rephrase that. In your opinion, what is the most overrated workout split?
I mean, the most common is the bro split, push-pull legs. I don't think it's overrated, though. I think it works well. That's why it's so common. I think the most overrated split is the overtraining split, where you do 7 days a week, no days off, and you're pushing yourself constantly and you're overtraining your body to where you're literally there's diminishing returns to where you would act like I used to do 5 days a week, no matter what. I've recently changed to 3.5 days a week because I do day on, day off, day on, day off, day on, day off. And that averages out to 3.5 days a week. Some days, some weeks I'm 4, some weeks I'm 3, depending on the week. And on the weeks that I'm not strength training, I'm doing stretching, I'm doing mobility, I'm doing sprints, something like that. And I think people don't realize how overrated overtraining your body is, when in reality you only need like 3, maybe 4, maximum 5 days a week of marginal strength training to actually get good results.
100% agree.
I also thought of something when you were talking about the vegan diet, not to go back down that, not to bash on the vegans even more, but
No,
I
let's
actually
keep on the vegan.
yeah, I saw a study today that was talking about how there is like 10,000% more metals, like 10 times the amount of metal content in plant-based proteins than there is in like a whey or animal-based protein. And it's because of how like glyphosate and things that the plants accumulate, and how most plant-based proteins don't go through a neurotoxin or a purification process. Like some do, and they can be fine, but the vast majority don't. And you're putting a lot of metals in your body, which is like terrible for you. Like even worse than glyphosate itself is the metal buildup, because your body like literally can't handle them. Just talking about how people don't realize that that's like a huge cost that your body takes from consuming plant-based. It's like, for what? Because I want to make chickens happy. Like it's not worth your own health at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I would love for us to I think that nutrition and fitness content and education is not paired with studies often enough on the internet. And so I think that would be a great thing for us to reference going forward, because there's a lot of really cool and valuable studies out there that just aren't referenced or talked about.
Yeah.
My favorite creators on Instagram always reference studies with their content. Because without those, you don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to reference them more and learn about them more. PubMed is my go-to source for a lot of them, and I'm saving them. I mean, if anybody wants like the actual study, I can send it to them. I'm not gonna go through the trouble of putting it in like every post that I post this across, but if we get to that point, then yeah, I'll put them in like the video notes or whatever. But yeah, I'm creating a list of a bunch of studies that I find that are like peer-reviewed, solid studies, because you literally can't trust anything out there anymore.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Read more studies.
Cool. Those are all the questions that I had. You had any more?
I don't think so. That concludes episode 2 of the Xelik Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And see.
Good stuff.
Cool. I will have Andrea make that. I got 1, 2, 3 videos. Your most overrated exercise, your first time doing the vegan diet, and your best lift for each muscle group.
Sweet.
And then I'll have them do the full video and whatnot, and then I'll do the 3 for mine as well, and you should be good.
Sounds good, brother. Well, I will see you in a couple days, and go Frogs then.
Go Frogs, baby.
All right, love you, brother.
Love you, peace.
All right, bye.